Hey there, Wendy here with Jazzydoodledesigns. Welcome back. I should say welcome back, Wendy. I've been gone for the last couple of weeks, and if you've been following my channel, you're probably glad I'm back too, unless you're a fan of flip-throughs, because there were quite a few. But I didn't want to leave you guys hanging with no videos. So how was my vacation, you ask? Well, I broke my leg. So my vacation luck is running true to form. I have terrible vacation luck. We've now decided that I'm never going to go on vacation again. I'm going to go on adventures, excursions, and day trips and the like, because vacations are just not a good thing. But luckily it's like a simple break. I should say, like, no bones were popping out or anything. And so I am on, like, in a walking boot and crutches. So that'll mean some adventures ahead when I have my excursion next week. Is it next week? Yeah, I guess it's this Saturday. My son and his family are taking me on a cruise. And it's been planned for quite a while. And so that's going to be an adventure. But anyway, I'm excited about it, and enough about me. What I'm doing today is the mid-year freakout, and I was tagged by the lovely Jolanda at Coloring Biker Mama. Now, she's a new channel, so I encourage you to check her out. I've been enjoying her content, and we're going to do a color along together coming soon with the lovely Miss Sherry, who is also a follower of the channels in the fun octopus book. So I'm excited about that. So we'll see how that goes. It may be a color along on the channel. We'll see. But there's 15 questions in this tag, and I'll put them in the description box below. And I am going to say that it's been a while. I've seen this tag up on quite a few channels, and I really haven't had a chance to really watch a lot of them. Just we were not in an area that had service for the last week or two, and I've been a little busy with doctors and different things like that. Plus we had a death in our family recently, so things have kept me a little more preoccupied than the norm. So I'm not going to tag anyone specifically, but I am going to say, if you are watching this and would like to do the tag, just tell them Jazzydoodledesigns sent you, and the questions are in the description. So the first question is, how many coloring pages have you colored so far in 2024? So I went back, and if I counted right, it looks like I've done 72. So I'm happy with that number. What are we in the end of July? So that's about 10 a month, which is about my average because, well, it just takes time to edit videos and upload them and do all the YouTubey things. So there's that, and then, you know, life. But let's see. So the second question is, how many books have you colored in 2024? Now this was a little harder, but I'm guesstimating about 25 different books. I've done quite a few in the Meine Reise durch Afrika. Well, okay, that's another question. So we'll get to that in a minute. Are you prepared, Wendy? Probably not. Number 3, what are your favorite completed pages in 2024? So I'm going to pull some of these books aside. I just didn't want you looking at my, you know, fake wood table here. So some of my favorite pages were in Meine Reise durch Afrika. I really like how this page turned out. I love the color combinations. I really tried to push my typical color combinations, and I really enjoyed how it turned out. I did this one in the same colors, and I'm fine with this, but to me there's just something about this one that really stands out to me. Let's see. This was another one in Meine Reise durch Afrika. I did this. This is a pointillism technique using fine liners, and I really like how it turned out. I like the color combination, and it was a lot of fun to do. So I think that's it in here. In Peter Pan by Fabiana Attanasio, I really like how my how my Tinkerbell turned out in the Peter Pan book. I will try and, let's see if I can get it in the light. There we go. You can see all the glittery, shimmery fun on her wings. I used an iridescent medium. Is it right here? Yeah. I used this iridescent medium and stickles. And then I used pan pastels and Avazar London pencils. So I just really like how this page turned out. Her little pouty lip does it for me. So I picked like 4, I think. In this book, the Daydreams book, is it not this one? Oh. If I had to pick one page for the year, it would probably be this one. I did it with pan pastels and Prismacolor pencils, and I absolutely love how it turned out. The dramatic light to dark. I realize it's a fly, but there's something, I like the leaves. Everything about this page I just love. And this was in Hannah Carlson's Daydreams. And there is a full color along, I believe, on everything I've shown you. Let's see. The last favorite page is in this book. This is the Yoyuri Mouse, Makiko Inatomi, and I did this page. There's a color along on the channel. I did it as a buddy color with Sync Colors. She's on Instagram, Miss Christine. If you've been on my channel, I've chatted about her. She and I became friends when she won. I did my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. She was the winner, and we chatted on Zoom, and we've become, I think, pretty good friends and chat often and share our color interests because, you know, our husbands could care less, which I'm sure many of you can relate to. So we go back and forth and ask each other, what do you think of this? And any suggestions on that? And, you know, just, you know how it is. You just, when you do a page, you just want to share it with somebody that doesn't just go, yeah, that's nice. You want them to understand what it took to color that page, and she's been that person for me. So yeah, I love the coloring community for that. So now, which pages are not my favorite pages? That is question number 4. What are your least favorite pages? So I do a lot of work in the Disney color book, so it's probably no surprise that there's going to be a page in here that I don't like. I'm not a fan of this page. Now, this one was done with Crayola colored pencils, and this paper is very difficult to work with anyway. There's not a lot of tooth. I spray it all down with a workable fixative to give me a little more tooth, but I find that certain pencils just don't work very well in the book for that reason, because Crayolas just simply don't lay down the amount of pigment the Polychromos, Prismacolor, Castle Arts, Color Soft, some of those do, right? And I find in this book that the softer pencils do work better. Now, I can make Polychromos work just fine because they're an amazing pencil, but I do prefer things like Color Soft and the Castle Art Gold and Posca, the 36 Posca pencils. I really enjoyed those kind of pencils. But I also think that this is just one of these pages that it doesn't render well. But, you know, it's hard to take an image like this and put it into colored pencil. And to be fair, a lot of it depends on my mood when I'm coloring. Sometimes well, y'all know I'm impatient, but sometimes I'm more impatient than other times. And I don't know, I struggled with this page. So that was one of the ones, and I think I had another one. Just a moment. Okay, the other page that I really didn't like how it turned out was this one. Now, I really like how the image itself turned out. I don't like how the background turned out. So I thought that the background would really make it pop. And I guess it does, but just maybe not in the way I wanted it to. I started with dark blue and I just didn't like it, so then I went to the black, and it's not awful. And in some ways I do like it, but it's just not my favorite page. But my philosophy is, if you never try anything, if you never experiment and go out of your comfort zone, you're never going to grow. You're never going to improve as an artist or as a colorist or whatever it is that you're trying. So sometimes you got to step out of that comfort zone, and your first or second time that you do something, you're probably not going to like it. So you got to just kind of keep tweaking it. What do I like about this? Okay, I like this. What do I not like? Why do I not like it? And ask yourself those hard questions, so that if I do another wreath in this book, which I will, when we do the autumn section, I'll be doing another wreath. You know, I don't know which one, but when we do that, then I'll know, like, what should I do again? What should I do? Because the next wreath I did here, you can see I put a background in, but I kept it very light, and I let my wreath be the focal point. I feel like when I look at this page, the dark can kind of take that over. But let me know what you think. And maybe I just, you know, it's hard for me to articulate what I don't like about it. So anyway, those are my thoughts on my least favorite. What is your most colored book in 2024? This is question number 5. So that is probably by far the Disney book. I only have 12 more pages to complete the entire book. So that really drives me to keep working in it. I'm going to skip number 6 and go to number 7 since I have this book here. It says, have you tried any new coloring techniques this year? One of the things that I have tried and I really enjoy is I work with acrylic paint. And so I saw this on Inky Wells' coloring channel, and what she does is you make a wash with your acrylic paint, and you put that down, and then you work on it with your colored pencils, and it works really good for a page like this, in which so much of the page was blue. So by putting that blue down and obviously skipping the lights and this part here, I was able to save myself some time, and the acrylic adds more tooth, which this page desperately needs, and you can see how rich and vibrant this is compared to, I mean, this one's just pencils, and this is a good one. This was done with Pablo's, and so I feel like, I have to change camera, but you know, it's not awful when you just work with your colored pencils, but I do find that it saves your hands a little bit. And I did that on this page too. But I feel like it really adds a lot to add vibrancy, and you can really make your darks dark. Whereas sometimes if you're just working with colored pencils, you see how it's hard to get your greens dark without, you know, adding a brown or a black or something like that. So anyway, that's a technique I've been playing with, and I've really enjoyed it. I did do a color along on the channel in the World Within Worlds using it. Wasn't my favorite page. Definitely has a little bit of a learning curve to see how much water to use. But I think once I get that dialed in, you'll probably see me use it a little bit more on the channel. So anyway, back to number 6. What is your most anticipated book release for the second half of the year? So I will try and put pictures up when I edit this, but Teresa Goodridge has a Holiday Gnomes book coming out that I'm super excited about, because y'all know I love me some gnomes, and you know, they're just adorable. So that's on my pre-order. Joanna Basford has a book called Magical Worlds that is also on pre-order. And is there another one? There's so many. I think Hannah Carlson has one. It's a Christmas one. I'm going to wait and see what it looks like. I haven't seen a flip through yet, so I might be buying that one. The other one I have on pre-order is Creative Haven. Teresa Goodridge has got one called Small Town Charm. And I have a soft spot for Teresa Goodridge. I love her illustrations. This one looks super cute. It's got the little rubber boots on the front. And I just think it would be fun to color in. And they're not that expensive, so I really like that about them as well. All right, back to our list. What are we up to? Number 8. Is there any book you regret purchasing this year? So there's one. I regret purchasing this one. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, Nice Little Town Christmas, 1 through 4. That's awesome. Tatiana Bagova, I think is how I could be off a little on her last name, but I thought this was her book. What it is it's a rip-off of her book. It's by Suma Bookhouse, and I was super annoyed, and I got a refund for it, and they said just keep the book. But I reached out to her and let her know, and she was aware of it, but I just really hate that people suck. And, you know, the quality is terrible. They basically just photocopied her books. And so I do regret purchasing this one. But other than that, you know, there's books that sometimes I get them and then I think, am I really going to color in this? Like there's a Tolkien book that I bought that has a few images that I like, but it also has a lot of images that I really don't. So I'm like, you know, should I do a destash? Maybe. But this is the only one I can truly say I regret. Now, I've had some requests to go through my books with you all, and I would consider doing that undertaking maybe when I get back. So, okay. What coloring book would you like to finish this year? So the Disney coloring book for sure. I am doing an entire color along in the Minor Risa Dirge Africa book. And while we will definitely be finishing this book, I still have a long way to go, so it will not be finished this year. I've been trying to do between 1 and 3 color alongs a month, but there's, how many pages here? There's 90 pages at least. And you can see by the black dots, and I've done page 67. I need to wipe that one out. But other than that, still have a long way to go. So maybe by the end of next year. Okay. What kind of book is at the top of your wish list? To be fair, I don't spend a lot of money on other things other than my art supplies, coloring supplies, that kind of stuff, and maybe the dog. So if there's a book out that I want, generally speaking, I can purchase it. So I don't really have any off the top of my head. The two biggest ones that I was looking for that were hard to get, like Mouse Guard, I was able to get a hold of, and I actually got a pretty good deal on it. And so I don't really have any on my wish list right now. What coloring supply is at the top of your wish list? I would probably say the light fast pencils. Those are on my list. What pencils, number 13, what pencils have you used the most this year? So, should I get you a book to look at? Maybe we'll look at this spread for a minute. I probably have used Prismacolor and Polychromos the most because when I work on the channel, I try and use pencils that the majority of people have, and then I do a few with other pencils. Myself, I work with all different kinds, but I just feel like, for example, not everyone has Holbeins, or maybe not everyone has the Avazar Londons, right? Sometimes I like using those, but you can't even buy those anymore. At least not in the big set, so I'm not sure what happened there, but I'm bummed because I really liked it. But yeah, so that's probably the ones I use the most. This one's really tough. Number 14, what are some of your favorite YouTube channels? So it's really hard because I like all of the big names, you know, like my colorful Karen with my Colorful Country Life, and Shell's, what is it? Shell's coloring. Shelly is just phenomenal. Lucy just adds color. I love her little sense of humor. You know, Coloring with Kay. You know, some of these big channels I really like, but I also like a lot of the smaller channels too. Like, I love finding out about Coloring Biker Mama so that I can, you know, get to know some small artists too. And their channel, there's what was it, a picture, I'll link them in the channel or in the description box below. J.I. Colorist, I've really enjoyed getting to know Jody. Tanya's Colors, enjoy working with her and kind of collaborating on our hashtag. And I'm just drawing a blank because there's so many amazing ones. So I'll try and drop quite a few names in the description box below for both big and large channels, just simply because I think all the channels have something that you might like one thing on one channel and somebody else on another channel. You know, like maybe you like color-ongs on my channel, but you prefer the method that somebody else does flip-throughs, or product reviews or whatever. And I personally like to watch several reviews so I get different opinions on things. So anyway, the last question before I bore you to tears is, any 2024 coloring plans for the rest of the year. So I want to finish the Disney book. Oh yeah, and I skipped number 10, so I'm going to skip back on that. But my life needs the blooper reel. Okay, so as far as plans, just keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to be coloring a lot in this book, The Mining Rice at Dirge Africa, so if you're interested in that. I have some product reviews I want to do, and I have been requested to maybe do some battles between pencils, or kind of like I did the fine liner thing where, you know, I did like several reviews in a row and then kind of the battle royale. I have a lot of pencils, and so I'm not sure, maybe we could break it down into high-end, medium-end, and budget pencils and have little battles like that. So let me know your thoughts about what you think of doing something like that. I've also had requests to show all my coloring books, and people tend to like those. And so let me know in the comments if any of those things appeal to you, and if so, which. And for example, if we do the coloring book, would you want to just see the coloring books with like a basic flip through like this type of thing? You know, where you get kind of a feel for the book without doing a full flip. Would you want to see the colored pages? Like if I've colored in the book, would you want me to show completed pages at the same time? So let me know your thoughts about those kind of things. And then now I'm going to skip back to number 10 because, you know, obviously you've seen how I do math, so obviously reading isn't a forte either. Number 10 is what uncolored books do you want to color in before the rest of the year? So, none of these are it. Oh, Wendy. Here we go. Here we go. All right. You just all had to have the blooper reel at least once. So, I just got this book and I've been itching to color in it, and I've had a request to please, please, pretty please color in it. This is the 5 Bears. This is very similar to Makiko Inatomi's. I don't think it's hers, but I don't read Japanese, so I cannot be sure, but it's just stinking cute. And so I want to color in this book. I think there's a flip through on the channel this last week. Mouse Guard. I got this at a thrift online, like an online book thrift thing, and this page was colored, and you can see I was able to remove a lot of the color, so I can go in and just color it myself now. That was the only thing that was done in this book, so I would like to start working in this book because it's a cool book. I bought this book and I was so excited for it. This is just an amazingly neat book with a lot of different types of images, and some of them are, you know, like the dragon, and then there's these delicate like a fairy, and then I really like this warrior princess, and like the Chinese dragon. I mean, everything. There's just a mix of all kinds of stuff in here, and I've been kind of itching to get into this book, and it's really nice paper. This is Nicholas Chon. Okay, that, you know, I'll let you read it, but it's a spiral bound book, and the last time I looked, it was available, but in limited quantities. But I'm gonna try and at least do one page in this book, and then the Nelko Neko coloring book, because come on, so stinking cute. I'm leaning towards a double page spread for Halloween, because look at this adorable page. I could do each one of them separately, and I might, I really like, I don't know, how would you choose though? They're just so cute. So I'm kind of leaning towards that, but the fishing picture, I might do this summer. I almost did it yesterday. There are so many pages in here I want to color. And so I am leaning towards working in this book. So thank you all so much for sticking with me. If you're still here, kudos to you. Give yourself a pat on the back and a high five from me. And please do the YouTube things. Hit the like, the subscribe, and we will catch you on the next one. Thank you for watching another video from Jazzydoodledesigns. If you enjoy adult coloring content, please consider subscribing. You can now find me on Instagram and Facebook as well. I welcome all comments and suggestions. Don't forget to like the video before you go. And until next time, take care.